Thanks so much for joining us. So this is a MeWe Awakening panel. We have all sorts of fairs and other events for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have our events throughout the Northwest when we do things in person, and we've been doing a ton online. We started off doing our fairs online in January of 2019, and we've been doing a lot of different events online since March. So thanks so much for joining us here. We have people joining us from all over. Just last night, I had someone from Costa Rica and from Australia and just all over the United States. And it's great that we're all getting together to do so many things. So tonight, this is an awakening panel. We have 8 of us that are on the panel. Currently, 7 of us are here. We will be sharing a bit about who we are, what Black Cat Conjure is to each of us, and then we'll be answering your questions. So answering questions from the audience. And we'll be here for 2.5 hours. So we're starting here in Pacific time at 6:30, and we'll be going until 9 p.m. And just excited to be here with all of you at this time of year. And we'll each share a bit about the theme and what this all means for us. And we got dressed tonight. We don't usually do this for our events, so special tonight. Yeah, and I see some of the participants have too. All right. Well, let's see. So I guess the panels, maybe I say a little bit, the panels got started when, it was, I would say originally Julie Fast is the one that had the idea for having a group of us share our work together. She's a practitioner that works in the mental health field, and she also does a bit of intuition with that. It's pretty strong and clear. And so we did a panel that was medical intuition, mental health intuition, and personality intuition. And she is the one that prompted all of this a number of years ago. And since then, we've had many different groups of practitioners together sharing and answering questions. It's great fun for the practitioners as well as for the audience, right? And it's great for all of you. You get to hear answers from many of us. So all these different points of view. It's also great for opening to your intuition yourself, just as listening, because when someone asks a question, whatever might arise for you in whatever way you're open, you get to see, does it correlate at all with what we share? So just lovely experience to grow and learn from all that we share, for opening your intuition, and then we share in different themes. So we get to focus on different areas, different events. So tonight it's free to be here. Maybe I'll post in the chat again too. It's free to be here to listen and learn from all that is shared. And then the way we support all of us to continue to have these events is that we charge for you to ask a question. So we changed the pricing a little bit. It's $20 to ask a question, and you'll probably hear from everyone on the panel. And then it's $10 just for BIPOC community, so our way of making reparations and increasing diversity and access for everyone. We also, for the first time, we have someone doing sign language interpretation tonight. So Sharon is here. We would love to, sign language interpreters are often very expensive, and so we're finding a way that we can do this together as a community. When you ask a question tonight, if you're willing to make a donation and add something to the tip jar for the interpreters, that would be great. And if you simply want to give us a tip or donation for the interpreters. So we possibly were going to have a second here as well. It's just Sharon tonight. This would be great. Yeah, so we're just finding a way to do this together as community. Need to paste a little bit more here in the chat. Yeah, so we'll be taking some of our funds from people asking questions and contributing. If anyone else wants to contribute as well, we deeply appreciate that. All right. Yeah, so and I'll put information in the chat about all the practitioners too, so that you know who we all are. We're all going to go through and introduce ourselves as well. And we all, I may not have everyone's in here yet, so I'll be adding them as we go through. Practitioners, if you want to offer a special tonight for people that come to the event so that they might sign up to do something with you, we'll be putting all that info in the chat as well. So I know I've got them from Susy and Wyatt. Yeah, and I don't have them. I have mine. I don't have them from everyone else too. So if anyone else wants to give them to me, I'll get them here in what we put in the chat. Well, let's go through and have the practitioners share. And so we'll do probably a combination tonight where the practitioners will share about themselves and what they offer, what they do. And they'll also share a bit about Black Cat Conjure and what that means for them. And now maybe actually, let's go ahead and I'm going to share a little bit about what we had in the Facebook event first about Black Cat Conjure. Before they introduce themselves too. So we have that context. So I chose this name just as a playful way of connecting about this time of year, right? Halloween and Samhain. And so I looked some stuff up online too. It was like, why do I associate this with black cats? Well, it turns out, so the cat is considered a symbol of witchcraft and the magic arts, especially if its color is black. To conjure is to call upon a spirit by means of a magic ritual. Halloween and Samhain are perfect times to honor the inspiration and impact of the black cat. For example, according to Irish mythology, Samhain was a time when the doorways to the other world opened, allowing supernatural beings and the souls of the dead to come into our world. Hence, Samhain can be viewed as a festival for the dead. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Owennagat, which translates as Cave of the Cats, is one of the main gateways to the other world, where beings and spirits were said to have emerged on Samhain. We have more people coming. So one of the things we'll do is we'll offer tips on how to make your own magic, right? We know that you choose your path, use intention and language to refine what you set up for yourself. Your approach is everything. So we're here with all these different approaches, supporting you on your path, whatever your path is for you and your approach. All right, this gives you a little bit of context for tonight. Let's see, so practitioners, who wants to go first? And I'm going to, since we're recording on my screen, I will attempt to move Sharon. So Sharon is at the front on my screen. And then if you're wanting to be able to watch Sharon, there are various ways you can pin Sharon so you can see. All right, great. All right, and you can have whatever setting on your computer you want, so you can leave it in gallery view. All right, practitioners, who wants to go and share? Feel free, take a few minutes, take 3 minutes or so. Share about yourselves and share what does Black Cat Conjure mean to you and how did you want to be here tonight? And you might share about how you chose to dress. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Okay, great.
Hi, so I'm Wyatt. I'm a shamanism practitioner. Real quick so I can let her go. This is Freya. Okay, go on. So I'm a shamanism practitioner. I am also a spiritual life coach. I combine both the ancient and the modern practices into one to help you, my client, to be able to move forward or begin your path of healing. It's pretty exciting. I love it. As far as black cats go, I have always loved black cats, and I haven't really been able to own one until recently, or rather have a companion that is a black cat until recently. I wasn't able to grow up in a household that accepted indoor pets, so that's okay. But to me, black cats has always been a symbol of individuality and beauty. They have always been hated upon because they're black and associated with witchcraft. And I always have loved them. I'm like, oh, it's a black cat. It's so cute. And I just have always wanted to have one. So when I moved up here and my now ex and I, we decided to go and get a cat. So I very tactfully convinced him to allow me to get a black cat, in which that's how we ended up with Freya. She was 5 months old and at the time named Miss Deer. So, but yeah, so that's my little story of Freya. Anyway, I'm super excited about being here. I love intuitive panels and I'm blessed to be here with MeWe fairs. So thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Wyatt. All right, who wants to share next?
I'll go. Hi, I am the Shift Witch, and I help you make shifts so radical they must be magical. I have always loved black cats, but as soon as I was able to get my first, like when you move out and you get your first pet, it was immediately this little black fluff ball, and I named her Morgan because my beginnings with witchcraft came from reading The Mists of Avalon. So that was my introduction. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, so that was big. And then I went and studied Shakespeare in England and really got to sort of see some of this just amazing ancient sites, Glastonbury, the Tor, the Well, and that just really kicked off my love and my journey even deeper. And so I've been meandering along that path for a while. And since moving to Oregon a couple years ago, I have had the chance to go deeper into it because I finally am in a place with just like the most perfect energy and forests and just everything to support that. Um, my sweet Morgan passed away quite a while ago, and we went to adopt a new cat and we're like, we're not getting another black cat. And yeah, right, of course we are. So at some point tonight, Beetlejuice will make an appearance. So you'll all get to see Beetlejuice because he's my little black kitty. And I just adore him to bits. And cats just are so incredibly tuned in to everything. I love to watch them. They have a great time chasing the fairies around the house every night. Um, but they're just so tuned in and they're so knowledgeable. And I just know the Beetlejuice was back in Egypt at some point because you can just look at him and tell. So I'm just really excited because even before I knew anything about magic or black cats, I just loved Halloween as a kid. So this is just this great extension of, Halloween moved forward. I learned about its roots in Samhain. And so here we are in the present time. And I'm loving this so much. And I'm so excited that we still get to celebrate like this online. And I'm really glad that everyone is here tonight. So thank you for coming. And I look forward to talking with you all more tonight.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm Susy Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing, and I'm a channel, which means I set my consciousness, I go into a light trance and set myself aside so divine can come and talk to you. I also love looking at past lives and doing energy healing. Now, I love this idea of the black cat conjure because for me, I'm such a lazy witch because I don't do the rituals, but for me, your most powerful magical tool is your own finger. It harkens back to this scene from Willow where, the wizard wants to pick an apprentice and our hero doesn't choose the one he wanted to, which is his own finger. And for me, it is setting my intention and using language that helps us create our own magic. People go on about, oh, things are so rough. It's like, well, let's create our own reality. And Samhain is a perfect time in which to start practicing it. I feel especially empowered at this time because the veil is so thin between this world, the 3D world, and what's beyond. And so we get to look and see beyond and see what it is we can do. And so coming to an event like this, I think, is an excellent way not only to connect with other people who are of a like mind and that we create our own reality and our own magic, but we're all so willing to. This is what we do, and this is how we've done it, and this is how we got where we are. Yeah, I think that. Anything else? Nope, I'm good. So I'm looking forward to tonight, and I love all these people. So yay!
It's great. Thank you so much. All right. Practitioners, who else wants to share? Who wants to go? And I know we had our 8th practitioner show up too. So we're sharing both if you want to share about the theme as well as about yourself. You've got a few minutes. There's several of us still to go. Who wants to jump in?
Okay, I'll jump.
All right.
Okay. So I've been drawing this. I'm not quite sure what it is yet, but this is where we are right now.
Am I saying this is Amanda Root that's sharing?
This is Amanda Root. Amanda likes to draw all the time to stay focused. And then what happens is I'm focusing and I'm hearing everything. And then when I have to speak, do I know what I'm going to say? I have no idea what I'm going to say. But I do intuitive art. I use coyote intuition. So I'm very paradoxical person. There are a lot of opposites in my astrological chart. So I would definitely I'm pretty much hard to figure out if you ask like any of the males in my life, but women or intuitive people, you guys, you would understand me, but I also can be surprising. Let's see. I like to do things that are fun. If it's not fun, it's like impossible for me to basically do it. So here is a little hoodoo dolly. I've been incorporating hoodoo into my work because all the stuff I do with crystals and herbs and intention and energy work and healing work really fits with the hoodoo tradition. So it has to do a little more with, I guess, well, they don't call them spells, they call them works, but you're doing works to manifest what you would like to have happen, whether that be for yourself or for someone else, or to get someone to stop doing what they're doing, or there's multiple things you can do with it. Let's see, runes. I'm big into runes. I love symbols and pictures, and I love putting them together in different ways, and I love drawing with them. And through the course of doing everything I do, I come out with a reading, which in the context of the question makes perfect sense, even if what I'm saying now doesn't make perfect sense. It's easier for me to have a question that isn't talk about myself. But anyway, I can't wait for the question part of the program. I'm going to sign off on talking about me part.
Could you just show us a little bit, just show us again, what is the drawing that you did?
Oh, sure. I'll show you the drawing. I know, here's this, what it is. I think it has to do with like, it's probably like a magic wand. It looks like a wand to me. And I always draw chakras like that with that way. That's how I draw the chakras. And I also have X's. So the X's to me show crossed work, a crossed condition. It also shows a block between chakras, like if the energy is not flowing well. And this is also like, you know, this could be representative of like all the people here, because every person has a different color aura primarily, and then connecting together, even using the crossed things that bring people together and their blocks that they think they have in a row, it makes a chain and it's like a group. Okay.
That's great. And I'm going to ask you one more question too. Could you just say a little bit more about hoodoo? Like, what's hoodoo? Because a lot of people might not know.
Oh, okay. Hoodoo is, to me, it's like witchcraft, but it's the African-American southern part of the United States version. They had to combine it with Christianity to kind of hide it. So they use parts of the Bible, and then it's spell work and different things like putting like inside of hoodoo dolly, I would put like herbs and a stone and different stuff to help someone with a condition. So a friend of mine had a medical problem. So I put a bunch of stuff that she needed into the doll and then set an intention on it and work with it that way. It's actually like a lot of rules for it. So I'm working on the rules aspect of it, but the intuitive part's the easy part. Does that make sense? Did I explain it well?
It totally did. Thank you so much. That was lovely. All right, great. Who else wants to share? Oh, someone's muted. I'm not sure who's jumping in. So people are muted. Who wants to go?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, great.
Yeah, my name is Amanda M. And I'm kind of like the other Amanda, pretty much hate the question, tell me about yourself kind of thing. But I'm a Reiki practitioner, and really the easiest way to kind of describe what I do, I'll tap into each of your chakras and read them individually. Sometimes it gives me medical type intuition things, emotions, different sensations, and basically just open myself to be a vessel to get different things from spirit. I have incorporated cards into my readings a little bit. I'm really new with them, so not doing a huge amount of that, and also do a little bit of shamanistic practice as well. And I don't have my black cat anymore, but I got my black dog, Birdie. My ex-husband got my cat.
Oh, thank you much for sharing your black dog. And Thank you for sharing about what you do. It's great. And I love your hat. I love the flowing of the feathers.
Thank you.
Great.
I feel like we should work together and go get the cat back.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. I know we have at least one more practitioner. Do we have two more? I'm trying to think who else.
Oh,
All right. Yeah,
this
two more,
is.
two more.
Am I going? I'm going. Okay. So hi, I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. The joke I made earlier is that we're here because we think cats are delicious, and this is my golden dragon. But I don't really mean that. So I actually have an affinity with cats. I also had a black cat. But I work with a group of shapeshifter beings that would describe themselves as non-dimensional. Good job, Sharon. They're actually big black cats of the jaguar nature. And I actually had a personal experience when I was in Amazon in Peru, where actually a jaguar helped me get back, and it was getting dark, and I was separated from the group because I was trying to get back. So I also lived in Paraguay, and it's a big jaguar country too. So they've always been around, but way more in a helpful, powerful, and divine feminine nature. I find that when jaguar shows up for us, what they're really helping us to do is to be able to understand and see and have vision when we are working with quote unquote undeveloped light or developing light. And so they help us with night vision and claiming your power and sovereignty. So I am a big appreciator of the feminine power that the cats bring. I always joke because Mahana is my little dog, and I always considered myself a cat person, not a dog person, but that she had to incarnate last minute in the form of a dog. But she carries a lot of Syrian energy. So there are a lot of feline warrior-esque beings that come in a lot with a lot of information, all cats but galactic. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Galactic Ashley. All right. And Satora, I know you haven't shared yet. And then I don't know, any other practitioners? It might be just you and me. All right.
Hi, my name is Satora. I'm a channel and an energy healer. I channel mostly angels and ascended masters, and I think there's other beings who want to talk through me, and I was a little freaked out and didn't allow it. So yeah, there will be more beings in the future. I've also had a black cat when I was young, and recently my very best friend had a black cat. So yeah, I'm here. I recently deeper connected with the earth, and she gave me a message, and I want to share some of that right now. I hope that's appropriate. She was very she was, because I call her Mother Earth, and she said, yes, I am Mother Earth, and it's time for my children to grow up. Like, I'm a mother and my children are grown, and I understand that. They didn't always stay little, they didn't always stay teenagers, they grew up, and that is what is the time for us as humanity, is to grow up, and also to let go of the idea of scarcity, that living on the earth, that Mother Earth has such a ginormous, generous body that she allows us to live on, and that every being there is nurtured and has all that. Mother Earth has the possibility, the ability to nurture everyone. And that is the flow that we can get into, that once we give up our weird human society that is based on scarcity or in competition, which is a completely artificial system, that once we get back into the natural flow, there is abundance for everyone. And that is the natural life on earth. And she wants me to really make that clear. The life on earth has never been intended to be hard and struggle and strife and war and death and all of that. That's all man-made, and we are on our way back to a natural way of living on the earth, and it's utterly possible. And it's actually more the natural. It's intended. Okay, that's it.
Great, thank you for sharing. All right, let's see. And how am I gonna, well, I play with how to do the video. Let's see, I'm gonna put us on gallery right now. So my name's Laureli Shimayo. In addition to running the event, I'm also a practitioner. I'm an intuitive eye reader. I'm also a body psychology coach and a matchmaker. So the primary tool that I use here is my intuitive eye readings, and then the body psychology flows in here too sometimes. With eye readings, I think that we all read eyes all the time. It's not something magical. And if you imagine meeting someone with dark sunglasses, you can't see their eyes. There's so much missing. And as soon as you see their eyes, there's so much here. We all see so much in each other. I use a set of archetypes called Thrive types to describe what it is I see in you. Eyes are a window to the soul. So I'm reading your soul. Why are you here? What is your purpose? What are you here to achieve and share with people? What are you here to contribute? I'm able to help you see that, point to that, so you have better clarity on what you're here to give. So you appreciate yourself more, probably about what you're already giving and sharing in the world. And I help you make decisions about career path, relationships. You can show me photos of other people and I can talk about them and your relationships. And I use this for romantic matchmaking, all kinds of different things. And the body psychology tools are to help you grow. I believe that our bodies are just such useful vessels. And then also they're like, we're an antenna. Our whole being is an antenna, right? Information comes through us. And do we use what arises? And then our body is a way to physically interact in the world and to impact our emotional field and our psychological field and allow us to express our purpose as well as connect with each other. Yeah, so all these different things pull together, and I'm still opening to all the ways that I connect. I know doing these events and being around so many practitioners, I'm keep opening more and more and more. Okay? And when I see your eyes, I look at not only you, I also see a bit of your past. I can see some of the influence of your family. And there are ways that I tap in to sense what things were like and what they might have been like too, in ways that I don't fully understand. Yeah, that's what I'm sharing tonight. Maybe if I share a little about the theme, I have had a black cat. But I think my grandmother, I love that I have a witch's hat, right? So this is something I've had for different events. And I think my grandmother was a witch. I think that some of my lineage is through her. And she was opening up to various things, or had already been open, but there are ways she was giving me clues that I didn't know how to hear at the time. And then someone mentioned Mists of Avalon. And where I lived my first year in college, the person who owned the house had that book out all the time, endlessly. I saw that book. I didn't look at it then, right? So all these different clues, right, along my life. And I first connected with, I think, paganism and Wicca even before I explored anything else alternative. So my first pathways in, to me, are very connected to being a witch. I know for me, at least, that's right, all these associations for me. Yeah, so I totally think of myself as a witch. And Galactic actually once mentioned before too that I did study plants and studied plants when I was in grad school. And so I'm definitely connected to the plant world. And I also can sense fairy energy and all kinds of things like that. To me, this is all connected to being a witch. Right? Yeah. So that's why I chose the name Black Cat Conjure tonight as a way of just playing with this time of year and having us all together, sharing as a community. Great. Yeah. More people sharing about this book. Oh, part of your undergraduate thesis. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. All right. I love us. All right. Well, we are here tonight to answer your questions. I know I posted a little bit in the chat about how this works. Maybe some of you are here for the first time. And a few logistics things I want to mention. So it is, we changed our pricing structure a little bit. People are coming and going. If you leave, come on back in just at joinmeweonline.com. It's a great way just to get back to the page with the buttons. You can click and come back in. I do have information in the chat too about if you're interested in sharing your feedback about the event tonight sometime before you leave, we'll enter you into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. So that information is in the chat. And then we are having Sharon is interpreting, doing sign language interpretation of our event tonight. This is the first time we're doing this. We will be sharing with Sharon from what we take in from getting questions, answering your questions tonight. And if you'd like to share a tip specifically for Sharon to help support her and all of us to continue to do this, that would be great. You can share directly in PayPal. If you're gonna pay for a question, you can add a little bit as a tip, totally optional. We appreciate that as a way that we can reach more and more people with our events. Someone that's here tonight who's understanding what we do from Sharon is also a practitioner, and I'm hopeful that that person will be in other panels and our fairs as a practitioner soon. They've been in our live fairs as well. And yes, so the structure of how this is going to work tonight. We're here to answer your questions. If you'd like to ask a question, and I'm going to put it in chat right. Well, I'll just put this basic stuff in chat here right now again. All you have to do is pay on PayPal or Eventbrite. I think the Eventbrite link might be here too. Maybe just the PayPal link. Yeah, just it's $20 or it's $10 for BIPOC community. So our way of making reparations. And we will get you in line to answer your question. Let me see if anyone has signed up already. And if you want to make a tip, if you could just put tip, or you could put interpreter or something like that in the in their payment on PayPal, that would be great. And yeah, I see someone gave us a tip. It's great. And so we might not have anyone in line for a question. If you want to ask a question, if you pay, I'll certainly know that you have paid. Let me see, maybe someone did and I haven't checked Eventbrite yet. I'll certainly know that you've paid. Yes, someone has paid for a question already on Eventbrite. And yeah, so I'll either see that you paid or, okay, great. Or mention in the chat that you want to ask a question and we will work on how you can pay and get in line. All right. And the note on who paid already. So if Angela is here, oh, Angela has paid to ask a question, I believe. Is that, yeah, that's from this event. Great. Yeah. So that's how this works. And we have just about 2 hours. So we'll split up the time with all the questions that we have. And I know often people don't know they want to ask until we get further in. So practitioners, what our aim is to answer pretty briefly. And then, but as soon as we get a second question, right, we're going to move on. We just don't know how many questions we'll have. I thought of a couple other things I want to tell you. Well, I'm remembering right now just the basics of when you ask a question, you might ask a question about this. Oh, this is being recorded and this will be online. So please, if you ask questions that you feel comfortable having us talk about, it's great if you ask us a specific question. If you want to ask a question privately, we're not doing that in the event tonight. And all of these practitioners are available to do sessions privately. So please know that is available. And most of us have specials listed, and I'll put that in the chat again later too. So when you ask a question, we may think it's connected to this other topic over here that's not what you asked about, or we may go deeper than you want us to talk about in this call. If anything like that is happening, please let us know. Unmute and let us know. Raise your hands, wave them around, write in the chat. We want to honor you. So please, if we're sharing in any way that's not what you want, please let us know. And then from everything that is shared tonight, from the questions that are asked, from the answers that are given, I encourage you to learn from all that. Right? It's a great way to open to your own intuition. It's a great way to learn from the answers and the responses we give. Even just people are asking these questions and what's happening in their lives. Right? Great opportunity to learn from all that's shared. And then we believe that everyone's intuitive, and maybe in particular, because you're here, you know you're intuitive. So if something arrives for you when someone's asking a question, we request that you allow the attention to stay up here on the panel, but maybe write down what comes through for you. Sometimes it goes, you know, whoosh. So you might want to write it down. And if you want to, maybe reach out in private chat to that person after we finish answering their question and see if they'd like to hear what came through for you. It's possible that they're full. Please honor if they don't want it right then, and just trust that it came through you for some reason. All right, so it's the basics of how this all works tonight. And yeah, just very excited. Did I finish putting everything in the chat? I think I did not. Let me grab one more, couple more things. Yeah, it looks like I didn't put this last bit in. All right, great. And see if anyone else has signed up for a question. We've had an enormous number of questions the last few events, so I might limit only to a smaller number of questions that we can get through. Oh, people are in line. All right. Thank you so much. So we've got, let's see. Where am I? Right here. Okay. All right, so we've got Angela and then Bethany and then Donna. And so is Angela here? Let's see if Angela's here. Yeah, Angela might not be here yet. Let me try to find Angela's email and reach out. And then, so we've got Bethany and Donna. So Bethany here, you could be the first one to ask a question. And feel free if you want to unmute and turn on your video if you want and share. Or if you want, you can just write your question in the chat too, and I can read it out. It's really up to you how you want this to work.
Hi, I didn't expect to go first.
Are you okay going first?
Sure.
Great.
So I guess my question is kind of cat-based, actually. Is that okay? I don't know if there's like a specific kind of question we're supposed to ask.
No, you can ask questions on any topic, right? So we have this full range of modalities, and if 4 of us really feel called to answer your question, you'll hear from 4 of us. You'll hear from a number of us, and any topic is great.
So my cat Storm passed away a couple months ago, and I was hoping to try and connect with her through the holiday and everything, and God, I miss her so much. And I just, she was just a really special cat and important part of my life. And I just want to hear from her. I want to know what she thinks about where she's at and where I'm at. And I've been fostering some cats. I had 5 kittens. 4 of them got homes. One of them has been kind of sick. He has, we suspect it might be something called mega esophagus, where his esophagus is enlarged, and he's a little black cat. And we're hoping that we'll be able to make him better, but I'm not sure if his future is with me or with someone else. And I guess just want to hear your insight on all that.
Right, I want to honor too, ironically, the next person in line is actually a pet psychic. And so we may have something, and we may invite Donna to come on the panel for a question too, and we'll see. All right. Nice. So practitioners, who has something?
Laureli.
Oh, yes?
I'll come on, but I'm not prepared with any decent clothes. I just came to listen tonight, but I'll be glad to put my 2 cents, as long as you don't want me to go live.
No, that's great. You don't have to turn on your video. That's fine. It looks like Jamie's got something right now. The shift was has something right now. And then, yeah, Donna, if you have something come through for you too, you're welcome to share on this question.
And could you ask her again what the name of the cat was that crossed?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to check. You said, is it Storm? What is it?
Yeah, Storm.
And yeah. How old?
She was 19 and a half, or almost like 19 and 3/4, or 1/4, sorry. Just a little over 19.
And she just passed a few weeks ago?
She passed in August.
August, okay. Thanks. I'll call her in later. I mean now, but after everybody else has talked.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Donna. All right, so the shift witch and then Susy.
Bethany. First of all, I'm very sorry for the loss of Storm. I definitely, probably all of us understand how that is. My baby was 18 when I lost her, and she was my first child, literally. So I truly do empathize with what you are going through. But she's helping you with that kitten. Like, first of all, like that's just a given. She's absolutely there helping you with that kitten, trying to make sure that everything is going okay with that. And all the things you see out of the corner of your eye and the meows you hear, that really is her. Like, she is still there. That's where she is. She's still with you because that's where she wants to be. She sees that you're doing something really good with the love that you have, that she's not there right now, but you took that intense love you have and you're using it to help other cats, and that's making her super happy. So just anytime you think that she's there, she is. I'll just tell you right now, any meows that you're used to hearing from her, that's still happening. Any little things out of the corner of your eye, like that it really truly is still her. She is absolutely still with you and helping you and supporting you and loving you as much as you love her.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, Susie.
I I got so much the same stuff that Shift Witch got, was that she walks next to you. I don't know if you, I'm seeing her behind, like a little bit behind and to the left of you, and she's walking with you, and she is there not only for you, but for this cat you're fostering. And she sits with that cat, and she's been conveying messages to him like, no, you're fine. These are good people. It's okay to have this. She's giving him permission to be sick because there's lessons to be learned for everybody involved. For like the cats are learning that they can trust humans, and then you are learning that you can help another cat, that you have enough, as Shift Witch said, you have so much love to share with everyone. And so I do see the little cat getting better. I don't know for how long, but Storm is definitely there, and is very happy to cross over into being a spirit guide for now. But Storm was like, no, I just want to sit here and be supportive. And that, yeah, that's what I've got. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And then Amanda M is in line. Amanda M, go ahead and share.
Sorry, had to unmute myself. Well, basically the Shift Witch said it much more eloquently than I could put that part of it anyway. But I really feel that Storm, yeah, she wants you to keep that kitten, I think. And I'm definitely picking up on that a lot. But yes, to totally reiterate the other two ladies, yeah, totally agree with them as well.
Sorry, wasn't sure if I am allowed to ask more questions or.
Yeah, you can. And then there are more practitioners that want to share, but if you want to say something else about that, go ahead.
I guess like I just want to know, like I do feel like I'm doing a good thing by taking care of them and everything, but this experience was harder than I thought it would be, and at times it made me miss her even more than if I hadn't brought other cats around. And I don't know if anyone can pick up on her feelings on that or not.
Yeah, anyone that shared already, did you want to share something specifically about that? And I know we've got Amanda R in line and then Galactic Ashley. But yeah, for the practitioners that have already shared, if you want to say something about that too. You already addressed a little bit.
I am saying that she wants you to understand that she's not like totally evaporated and gone, that she is right there. And she actually brought those cats to you so that you could continue to share the love that you have, especially with a cat that is in such need as this other cat. It's okay to name him. It's okay. And that's what I have to add. I'm good.
Hey, great. If any of the other practitioners, oh yeah, like if you've already shared and you want to say something about this, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add that, especially, right now with the quarantine and COVID and everything going on, I know firsthand the trouble that shelters and rescues are having finding people to take care of animals, especially ones that are struggling. So Storm absolutely made sure that these kittens, Storm knew this, like mom is going to take care of these kittens if they come to her. So this is how this is going to happen. And, whether you keep fostering for the next 20 years or just have this kitten and stay with this kitten, you're still doing amazing work. And that's all Storm wants you to do, is just to be happy and to give your gifts and your love to somebody else, because your love is not diminished for Storm by loving another cat. It feels that way because you're like, how can my heart possibly hold this much? It's just going to burst. I'm going to have a breakdown or something. Like I really do empathize with all of that too. I truly do. You're just wondering how much can you really hold, but you can hold so much. There isn't a limit. Love doesn't have a limit. It just grows, and there's no container. It just keeps spreading, which is the best thing about love. So yeah, don't worry about any of that. Just, follow your heart. Storm absolutely just wants you to be happy, wants this kitten to be safe and loved, just like she was.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, so we've got Amanda R. and then Galactic Ashley, and I know Donna's going to be in line too. All right, Amanda.
Okay, and that was a perfect segue. Now I can't remember what you said. Oh, what you said, the perfect thing, like oh no, it went away. It had to do with like you can hold more. Wait, come back on, shift witch. What did you say? You can hold more. What was that?
Your heart will just expand and hold even more, because there's
holding more.
a finite container.
More, limitless, right? Limitless amount of holding, right? Thank you for coming back and helping me get the word out. Here we go. Can we see it? Can you see it? Okay, I'm gonna explain it. Wait, can you see it?
Yeah, keep looking, Amanda, and it'll come on again on my computer.
Wait, I'll take moving. Is that working? Okay. All right. Okay. I need to look at it to talk, but it's the well of weird at the bottom, which is the limitless. It's the consciousness around our consciousness that we can actually perceive. So it's like the well of weird is the Norns go and pull the answers of the universe out of the well of weird, which is like never ending limitless well, right? So I connect that with, and when I first was drawing about that, I was thinking about grief and how it's like the waves of grief and how the water and the waves and the ocean, like that feeling of like grief. And then your cat, the storm, and the feeling of the water moving around. And then the well of weird, which is around and holding everything that we even know. And I was connecting that kind of energy with, yeah, just like it's the feeling of grief and the loss. And it's hard to, the whole, like the memory of it with the new cat, it's painful, and yet it's also healing, right? Because it's like connecting you. Because I feel like the cat, which Kenaz is the C up there, the little C, that is also for cat, right? And it's like Kenaz is, it's the light. It's like the torch, holding the torch, seeing what's ahead. So I feel like your cat is definitely helping you with seeing what the next thing you need to do is. And the other thing I was focusing on was Rido, which has to do with the next step. What do you need to do next? So I feel like even though when you're in the sea of grief and this overwhelming like ocean kind of water like feeling, just thinking about what's the next thing that I need to do. So like regarding the new cat, what's the next thing that has to happen? Like just the next thing, not tomorrow, not just the next thing, you know, what's the next thing? Yeah. And I feel like staying in that kind of energy will help you feel like you are more not taken over by your feelings, but using your feelings for your next step, and using your depths of your emotions for, and your depths of your love and your emotions for the next step you need to take. Okay.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. I know we've got Galactic Ashley next.
Okay. Hi. I want to say that I'm sorry about your cat, because the vibe that I'm getting from your cat would be similar, that if I were to lose Mahana, I probably wouldn't leave the house for a really long time. But the whole point of this is to remember that 2020 is really a gift of vision. And we are being asked to be able to heal. And what I'm getting from Storm is, one, to remember that Storm is in and of itself an element that is all elements all at once, and that activates all of our chakras. So if you were to look at her, and I'm getting her, whether she's a he or not, she wants to be identified as her, which has to do with your own divine feminine power, is that you are being asked to open and to give beyond what you previously conceived your boundaries to be. So you're being asked to expand beyond the point of where you thought you could love, and that this includes yourself. And so she is being asked for you to see her as a being in spirit and no longer necessarily in cat form. And so she is here for you to heal rapidly, right? So this is an opportunity this year that, while it is uncomfortable, to actually heal quite rapidly. So she's supporting you. She's not going anywhere. She has incarnated with you before, beyond just this planet, but in other realms. And so the reason why this particular being, losing her, has been so, we'll say, detrimental, is because of the loss is a lot, because this has been a creature that has been like no other creature that you have had in this current lifetime. And so she is also asking that she chose to disincarnate, and she was given the option and the opportunity because she wants to remind you, and that you knew this on some level, because she can actually work with and heal you more rapidly and together at a much higher vibration if she is no longer carrying the physical body. So she is bringing these other animals to you to help to care for. And I also understand that caring for an animal with I don't know, what did you say? Mega esophagus, like that requires a Bailey's chair, which is really difficult. And it's like a full-time scenario. I don't know how it works with cats, but I know how it works with dogs. So like, these are really big things that you're taking on. And I did hear the term death doula. So you don't know that in the future, you might not be actually helping people come to terms with this death doula transition in terms of animals. And so I would keep all of these things in mind. And I know I'm not even trying to like gloss over like, oh, no, it's just the physical, right? Because it's completely different and it's really important. But just to remember that you have that connection, you've had it before you even incarnated into this life, and try and remember that you were working together. And there's a lot of profound opportunity that's available. And I have a feeling that once January comes around, things will start to really click on.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. And if any of the other practitioners that are here tonight on the panel want to share, go ahead. And I know Donna probably has something to share also.
Yeah, I do. I'm up next. I just want to describe, when I asked Storm to come forward, she came forward just walking pretty tall, pretty self-assured. And then I hope this is her personality, but she came through, she is such a ham. And what she did was, she showed me a big full yellow moon with her in front of it, like a black cat arched back with a tail, just like a regular Halloween cat. And she was so funny. And I'm like, okay, all right, you're such a ham. But she said, the reason she showed me that was because she she understands your grief, but she wants you to have joy. And so by showing me that, she was trying to make you laugh and think of all the funny things that she used to do with you. And she said that she actually directed those kittens to you. And the reason that you were to have them was you were to laugh at them doing kitten things, happy, energetic, young. She said that was to, allow you to laugh again and to find joy in being around kittens. And she wanted you to grow with that. And the other thing she showed me was when you had the kittens, she was showing me walking all around them. As they were on the floor, she was walking all around them. So she was actually helping you with them to grow them until they were ready to be adopted. And I agree completely with what Galactic Ashley said about this opening you up to bigger things, newer things. She brought those kittens a kind of a big job for you, kind of opening up what you're capable of doing. And especially with this sick kitten, making that choice of what to do, what's best in the highest interest of the kitten, as opposed to what you might want. So these are all lessons that she's brought. And I agree with Galactic Ashley totally that she has been with you in so many previous lives, not necessarily as a cat, but at least she's been with you. And that's why you feel that intense collection. But the main thing that she just keeps flashing this sign in front of me, joy, 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 like a big neon sign with yellow bulbs around the outside of it. So I hope that that helps you understand where she is. And she's around you too. I mean, everybody said that to you, and I know it's hard to take that, but they can be everywhere at one time. That they're in spirit, but they can be everywhere, and they're definitely, she's with you. So I hope that helps you, dear.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Donna. I put Donna's information in the chat for everyone too. So thank you, Donna, for being special guest on the panel. Practitioners, anyone else have anything else to share with Bethany? Bethany, thank you so much for your question.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, great. Yeah, so thanks everyone. All right, so it turns out we only have one other question in line at the moment, and I think that person has joined us. Angela, I think you arrived.
I have arrived.
Hi, great. It's great to see you.
I'm sorry for being so late. My day just got away from me. It's good to see you also. I know everybody's feeling kind of stuck the way that the energies are right now. And I know that things are going to start moving again pretty soon. But I'm going to end up back in Oregon in the last half of November, and I'll be there for a couple of months. But then after that, I'm thinking that I have this goal that I want to be able to travel back and forth across America kind of like repeatedly, because I've got family on each coast and then all in between. And I think I have things just about lined up where I will be able to do that, and that will be my life. So I'm wondering what you guys see in relation to that, how that's going to go, any precautions I need to take, any other steps I need to take. What do you see with that?
All right, great. Thank you. I'm just writing all that up so we have notes on what you shared. All right, practitioners, who has something to share with Angela? Yeah, we've got 8 of us here tonight. Amanda R is all set. Go ahead, Amanda. You want to jump in?
Okay, so that being said, I'm half all set, but I had to say this because regarding your question, I just pulled these runes, which I had to leave and run over there to get. That's why I left for a second. And look, interestingly enough,
maybe hold them back a little bit further because there's no light on there. Or can you tip them?
Oh.
Tip them so that they're, yeah. So that.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, that's great.
Wait, hold on. I need like
more fingers. Yeah.
Alien fingers. something that's not human to hold these up. Like, there we go. Okay, anyway. So the first one, it's just kind of freaking me out because it completely connected to the last question. It's the same runes, 2/3 of the same runes, except for the joy one, which is what Donna was just talking about. So I guess they came in pairs, the questions. Now, let's see, I'll just start talking. I have no idea what your question was because I wasn't listening. But because I was listening, but I wasn't listening with these ears. I was listening with my, the other whatever. Anyway, do what you want to do that makes you the happiest. It seems like maybe not the logical thing, but it's fun, it feels good, and you just like that idea. That would be Wunjo. Kinaz is the light. So it's like, and seeing what's coming ahead. And then Perthrow is the unconsciousness, everything around you that's the unknown. So basically, you have no idea, and the answer isn't really out there yet if that was a specific question, because this is the unknown. This is like you do the magic 8-ball thing and it says like ask later, because this is the energy that means like unknown. And this has to do with knowledge. So this to me says do what makes you feel happy, what's fun, do your research, because this is knowledge. So do the smart thing in research, stay in your happy place, and you're not going to know just yet what the answer is. Okay.
Hey, great. Thank you so much, Amanda R. We've got Galactic Ashley in line and then Susy. Galactic Ashley, go ahead.
I just want to clarify, you are wanting to go back and forth across the states and travel, right? Because you have friends and family scattered across, and then to be able to move and do what you want to do, right? That was the question. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So the very first thing that I got, and why I started laughing, because I would hate a response like this, is just do it, right? Like, and that's sort of like it, really, but not really. We'll talk more, don't worry. You're like, I want my money back. Well, I'd want it back too. Okay, so, but the gift of that and of everything is while like 2020 has been about vision, and the messages I've been getting about 2021 are very much about hearing. It's really about vision, not envisioning forward, but visioning in the moment so that you understand what and where truth is. Did we just lose Laureli? Yes, that's funny. But that visioning in the moment, meaning that you can see, this keeps coming up as something. If everybody looked like a jellyfish, you'd be able to see inside of them and know what was true and not true. So it's basically practicing that, knowing that the road is built, and this is really for everyone, like on a collective level. The road is being built. Our paths now are being built like literally 1 foot in front of us. So what it requires is a massive amount of faith and self. And this is actually freaking out a lot more psychics, I believe, than people that don't claim to be psychic or whatever, even though we all are, is when you're used to seeing the path ahead and then you're able to plan in order to see that, because we're not moving into that anymore. We're moving into like new earth potentials and higher vibrational spaces. So that means that almost we do ourselves harm by seeing something off into the future, because it's limiting for where we are now, because we can be a completely different person tomorrow, or so many things can integrate and to shift. So by you setting that intention to do that, the answer is yes, do that and allow yourself to experience the adventure that maybe you didn't get to experience in your 20s. So go live like a 21-year-old, like, right, safely, and travel like freely.
Okay.
And enjoy that.
So
and like without fear.
Okay, so no sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but everything else?
You can do that. That is not what they're saying not to do. It's just don't go jump off of a cliff literally and think you'll be fine.
Okay.
The kind of the dumber stuff. The sex, drugs, and rock and roll is totally fine. Call an Uber.
Cool.
Like, write phone number on your arm in Sharpie. It doesn't matter. But just go back to that like that like the universe is mine and I have tons of time to live. Like that whole mentality that you have. That's funny, mentality. The woman-tality of that. Kitten. See, she agrees. And look, maybe she wants to go on a road trip. I used to take my black cat in the car with me all the time. She had a leash. We traveled. It was good.
My dog goes everywhere. Okay. So yeah, and that really kind of verifies what I've been getting to is I'm not seeing very far out into the future, and I'm finding it really frustrating because it's hard to plan and know if I'm doing the right stuff. I recently, and just today, I had some things unfold that are allowing me to see that there's a few months here and there that I will be able to put some travel days together. So I'm kind of excited about that.
I mean, this is like an opportunity for, I mean, this is for everyone. Like, yeah, I'm talking to myself too. Like that this is like to really feel and experience your co-creative abilities, to be in your heart space, to trust yourself and the universe, right? And to experience the pure potentiality that is in the unknown, and that anything else is almost limiting, right? I mean, there's reasonable plans, right? It's not like the universe is like just drive your car and hope it doesn't run out of gas. I mean, it's like, you know, within reason, but just don't plan every little thing, because so many magical things happen when we travel. And it's like, it's fire for your intuition too. I mean, it just, everything, it just opens. It's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of excited about it.
Great. Thank you, Galactic Ashley. All right, we've got Susy in line, then Wyatt, and then Satora. And I know I have something to share in here too. Go ahead, Susy.
Hey, Angela, what an adventure. So I went and pulled cards from my Earth Magic deck, and they're telling me essentially focus, which is set your intention. So how do you want this to turn out? And leaving the details for the universe to take care of. Just, this is what I want to do. So you want to travel, do it. And then grounding is really important, because that puts you in that place where you're willing to accept the abundance of Mother Earth to come in and to say, okay, fine. And I love it that this whole, like, let's go with the flow and roll with it, because that's the best way it's going to happen for you. I find that when people try to control the outcome, they all get really tense and the energy gets all constricted, and that doesn't work. It's also no fun, because, you know, it's not happening right. But once you ground, you know, set your intention, put Mother Earth behind it, you know, you're going to get the universe in on it too. And then the last card was power or lightning, and it's going to go brilliantly. So trying to plan every minute's not going to work. Just set your intention for what you want, and, you know, and set it, and remind yourself of it every so often, you know, but you are one with the universe. You're one with divine. You're one with Mother Earth, and everybody wants you to have the best time that you can, to live your best life. So go for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. All right, we've got Wyatt and then Satora.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
I'm the one wearing the wizard hat up here. So I just want to do a quick explanation real quick. So I work with the wind. So I'm a shaman and I work with the elements, and I work very heavily with the wind. I was actually called to bring in a card for you. And when I do these readings, I need to know the first cardinal direction that comes to your mind.
North.
North? So north is the direction of spirituality. It's the cold, harsh wind, and it's beautiful, and we're not allowed to fall asleep. This is the spiritual wind, and it's always at bats and at odds with the very warm wind of the south. And it's kind of interesting too that you pick north, because the spiritual direction is where people always want to be. So you are in the north quadrant of where you want to be. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to double check that you can real quick. So this is Oya. And Oya is the wind of transformation. What I am getting actually is there's something that needs to transform. And what I'm getting from all the other readers is you have this innate ability to plan, which is not a bad thing. But it's something that you need to transform during these changing times, is to be more like the wind and to flow and to move and to be spontaneous, kind of like a quick whipping of the wind that happens randomly at dusk. I'm just going to read a quick thing. It says, Oya is preparing you to make a leap from your current state into the unknown. Even though your coordinates may not give a clear indication of your present condition, you can be sure that Oya is aligning you with your magnetic north. So this is where you are going to go, and this is what you're going to do. Just flow like the wind and go with it.
Cool.
Great, thanks, Wyatt. All right, Satora.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
I'm just gonna do a little channeling for you. We are most pleased that you are opening up to allowing yourself this great adventure. We want you to know that this is for you to celebrate and for you to care for yourself and for you to have fun. And that is the intention, is a celebration of self, a love of self, and an allowing for self. For you have worked so hard to all your life, and now it is a most joyful adventure, and that it can be most joyful with all that you have heard and all these tips and advices that you got. Take them into your heart in a joyful, easeful way, and allow yourself a completely new experience, and maybe new experience every day, that you can have fun and ease and meet new people also and have new adventures. So this is our main message for you, that you, in a sense, if you want to see it that way, reward yourself for all you have been, for all you have done, and allow yourself, like a little child, to play and have this wonderful adventure, and come from this heart open space to give yourself this gift, incorporating all that you have heard here in these very wise guidances that you have received. That's all.
Thank you. That made me want to cry.
Thank you, Satora. All right, we've got, whoops. We had Angela M in line. Angela M, did you want to share?
Oh, no, it was me actually.
That's what I said, Angela M, yeah. Did you want to share?
Yeah. Well, it was really weird because I pulled a card early on, right after you asked your question, and I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see this. Unknown territory. And it was really cool because the picture just totally, to me, resounded what Wyatt had said. And one of the main themes of this card is, instead of dismay because you're an unknown territory, celebrate your expanding and growing by leaps and bounds. So yeah, use this time to definitely have fun, learn new things, reach out, gain new experiences. And it won't all be roses, but it will all be beautiful and learning.
Great, thank you. And I don't know if she's ready. I think Amanda R had something else to share. And
I did. Okay, so anyway, here's a picture. Okay, and then I drew it like this, right? Okay, so it started off like this, but then I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, it's a snail. So can you see the snail?
I see the snail.
Okay, good. You hate breaking the rules, right? Like, you're not a fan of breaking rules in general. The people making the rules now, they don't know. They're just making it up as they go along. So I feel like just a snail. Now Wyatt probably knows exactly what snails do. I think it's actually really cool because at one point I read about that and it was good. I forget what they're for. This makes me sound like an idiot. But anyway, but it has to do with like definitely slowly moving, be protected. And I really like that. You're sitting on top of your root chakra. So I feel like there's something there's something maybe like even in your subconscious that's holding you back. So something that you might not be jumping on this and you might not even be sure like what's holding you back. So you might, and you looked at me funny when I said you were a rule follower. Maybe you're more of a rule follower than you think you are. I'm just saying like there's something like maybe deep down that you maybe don't even know about yourself that's affecting your worry about this.
Okay.
So don't worry about it, just go, you're good.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It actually does. I've been kind of planning this for a long time. It has been slow moving, and now I can actually see where it could happen if I let it. So what you guys are just really validating what I was kind of hoping and feeling fearful about. As far as the rule following, I was always really strict about following the rules until I got rebellious. and then I went, I'm going to be a bad girl now. And so I intentionally would break rules. It was a whole lot more fun. but there's still some rules that are difficult for me to break. You know, it's like the thing that's one of the things that's holding me back is just worry over finances. Like, need to have all my ducks in a row before I actually take the plunge. You know, so I can be really rigid about, you know, some things. And there's a part of me that knows that agrees 100% what you guys are saying, is that just go, just do it, because it is going to be fine and it's going to be fun. I just need to quit worrying and do it. Yes. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. And on to share just, Galactic Ashley also wants to share something else. Go ahead, Galactic Ashley.
It was just really quick regarding the snail, is to remember that there's also a sea snail, and that the snail has its home with it all of the time. And so
I have an
as you're
RV.
right, so like, and that you don't need to be in a hurry, and that you can still go in a gentle flow. And remember, there's a Fibonacci spiral on the side of like the mollusk of like the sea snail. So I like that Amanda drew the snail.
That was really awesome. And that it just dawned on me when you said the snail has the home on its back. I bought an RV just specifically for this. So I will have my home with me. So I can still be a little bit anal and have my freedom, right?
Yeah, this is great. I wanted to share a little bit too. So just if this wasn't touched upon, part of what I think about with the snail too, right, is this snail goes at its own pace. So I want to encourage you to go at the pace that feels right for you, not at a pace that you think that you should go. And then looking at your eyes, it looks like two of your talents are called priest, priestess, and scholar. So priest, priestess is about inspiration, vision, passion, motivation. Priest, priestess can go really deep. And then scholar is about absorbing information to build knowledge and share knowledge. So my sense is you're going to learn, to explore, and to learn. Scholars sometimes can feel a little nervous with the unknowns, so you're totally going in the unknown, which others touched upon as well. And priest, priestess is, while you might want to have your intention clear, you're also going not knowing what's going to unfold. Like the intention will become clear as you're on your path. And so holding the space of what is the intention? What is the reason why I'm here? How am I here to, to uplift or to help, like to be here to help others go deeper and to see what's here for them. And you're simply being with them. That will unfold just because of who you are and the way that you are with people. Like nothing to effort about. Does that all make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Great.
So, and here's another thing that has happened. I feel like the universe is really encouraging me to do this. It's like, this is going to be like a soul journey. I really need to just take the leap. But I actually accepted a job I'm going to finish the job in Oregon, but I will also be able to do online readings. And they will be scheduled and booked for me. So I'll have a little bit of income, which is, and that's a scary thing for me. So I'll have a little bit of income as I travel, extra income, I should say, because I do have a little bit in place already. So I just got to go, just do it. Like the Nike's ad says, right? Galactic, Ashley.
That's great. That's great. All right. Anyone have anything else to share with Angela? Oh, Amanda M has something else to share. Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, just as you were talking about the palm reading job that you got, I pulled one more card, and it was the transformation Phoenix.
Oh. A fresh new way of living emerges. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited. That is awesome. You guys
go and fly.
Yes.
Or drive.
I really feel much lighter about this whole thing now. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. I think we don't have anyone else in line for questions. So we are open. If someone else wants to ask a question, I will put in the chat how this works. As you can see, many of us will jump in and answer your question, and there are all kinds of different perspectives that you'll get, and often they're aligned in various ways. Yeah. So if anyone has a question they want to ask, it can be about any topic. Yeah, we are open. And oh yeah. So Anissa, yeah, totally, you can go ahead. Anissa may have a question. All right. Go ahead, Anissa, if you want to unmute and ask.
Can you hear me okay? I'm not using my headset tonight.
We can't quite hear you. Hi, yeah, we can see you. Oh, we can't hear you though. Why can't we not hear you? Unplug and plug your microphone. It sounds like you can hear us. Unplug your headphones and plug them back in. Yeah, she's going to unplug and plug them back in. Oh, you're muted at the moment. That's one reason. So at the moment you're muted. Anissa, you are muted. Anissa, you can't hear me at all. Okay. Yeah.
So real quick, as she's figuring that out, if we wanted to, I did want to blow in that win for Angela, and everyone can benefit from that too.
Yeah, sure. That's great. We will.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so this is something, so I have a wind whistle that I blow in the wind during readings. So how I instruct this is I will help you exercise your breathing. So what I want you to do is, right now, breathe everything out that you can to the deepest ends of your breath. And then when I blow the wind whistle, breathe it in, because that's me breathing in the spirit of Oya. And so, like a sunflower does the sun, let us soak in this energy. So let us all breathe out our wind down to the very depths of our lungs, from the very solid air that has not been breathed out since birth. And hold it for a few seconds. And when you're ready, start breathing in. And you may release when you're ready. And like a sunflower does the sun, soak in the bright light and energy that was just brought in, and may you go forward with Oya at your back.
All right, great. Thank you, Wyatt. Maybe could you share a little bit more just about, so what is that? What does that do? What is the impact that that's likely to have?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So within shamanism, we work I work very heavily with the spirits of nature. And so working with the wind has really started to unlock, well, first of all, the wind is starting to come in as of recently. We haven't really seen a wind practice specifically, besides maybe the Celtic wind witches about 100 years ago. But we haven't seen like a full-on spirituality around the wind for about 40,000 years. So with this wind coming back on, it's really important to realize that wind is the first degree off of spirituality. Wind is spirit moving within space. So by breathing in the wind, by breathing in a wind goddess like Oya is, she is going to be able to help you to clear blocks or to bring you into an obstacle so you can grow. And so with you feeling like you are ready for the north wind, or you are in the north wind, there's going to be maybe a lot of blocks that are going to help you grow within spirituality, or there's going to be a lot of releases, and it's going to really move you forward in this ability. It's like filling your sails and you're just going full on, you're just crossing the ocean in no time. So, and that's what the wind is really going to help with. And this wonderful tool is a wind whistle. And the first wind whistle was actually a kind of a remake of the death whistles of the Aztec tradition. So it's been a very interesting movement and learning experience. I've learned the wind from Renee Baribeau. So this is a very interesting time, and I love the wind. It's been a wonderful friend for me for about a year. So
Great, thanks for doing that and explaining that. All right, Anissa, I think, has figured out her microphone, and so she's next in line for a question.
Okay, hopefully it's working now.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. That's so embarrassing. So unfortunately, I don't really have a question. I've been trying to think of one, but like these are some of my favorite people in this room before, and I get to talk with them a lot, but I don't get to hear from them about me very much. And so I kind of tried to come up with something sort of related to the theme, but we'll see where it goes. So this past summer, I was kind of more, I would say, trying to be more outgoing and getting to know more people and really expanding my energy to make all of these connections and whatnot. So you could say I was very much trying to be like a dog, right? And it's not my usual type of personality. I'm pretty withdrawn. I kind of stick with my people. I'm more like a cat. And so I'm noticing that now that I really exerted all of that energy out, I'm really needing to withdraw and really need to own being my cat, because that's who I really am. And so I was just wondering if there was any guidance on how to be the best cat I can be, or if I need to keep having a little dog personality in me, or anything like that. Or nothing at all.
Thanks so much for your question. Great. Let's see what people have to share. I'm so excited to work with you. So yeah, those of you that don't know, Anissa works with me. I'm just tremendously excited to be working with her. All right, great. We've got more people coming. Yeah, okay, let's see. I see the Shift Witch is in line, and Amanda M is in line, and then Susie is in line. All right, the Shift Witch, go ahead.
Actually, Susie had her hand up before me. So Susie, you go ahead first and then I'll go.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. Because I'm like, don't change who you are, Anissa. You went all the way out, and of course you've got to come back and recover and balance. And you know, being a cat is fine. A cat is choosy in who it shares its time with. And they walk around and act like they own the world. And yeah, they have those moments when they're licking their butt and stuff. But you know, you are so completely you, and that's fine. I'm one of those who's like, I have tried to change myself for other people, and I really didn't like it, and it's not who I am. So I encourage you to be who you are. The you that I have seen here is kind and loving and supportive and fabulous. And I honestly don't want to have you any other way, but it's not about me. This is about you being your true self. So don't be a dog. It's okay. Be your cat. I hope that was worth the wait there. Shift Witch, thank you.
Great, thank you, Susie. All right, we've got the Shift Witch, and then Amanda M, and then Satora, and then Wyatt.
Oh, I love you, Susie. So, I mean, I love the whole cat mentality. I hope that I reincarnate as a cat about 1 billion times after this. I'm sure I had to have been one a few other times, because I definitely also have the personality of, I'll be over here alone and that's fine with me. But you know, I always think of with cats, you know, sleep when you want to, take nice long baths, treat yourself or make your humans treat you, and cuddle. Like, oh my God, that's the perfect life. Totally be a cat. Like, you have, and I mean, the thing I love the most every time I see you is all like the environment you have in the background. Like, I want to run around and all that super fun cat stuff you have, because it's amazing and it looks really fun, and your cats are always happily back there. So yeah, I just adore you, and I think you're fabulous, and I commend you for trying to like push yourself out. And I definitely know how completely exhausting that can be. So make sure you recover. And yeah, you don't have to be anything but what you are. And I know, especially when we're younger, we want to try out different stuff. Like that is when you try on all these different personalities and ways of living and being and interacting with others. But we always end up coming back to who we really are and the inside. And it's cool to be a cat.
Great, thank you so much, Shift Witch. All right, we've got Satora, and then Wyatt, and then Amanda R.
Was Amanda before me? Oh, it's okay. All right. Okay, I have a channeling for you too, Anissa. There's something they really want you to know is, beloved, beautiful woman, you are so much stronger in yourself than you know and give yourself credit for. We wish for you to, as you curl up in your cat persona, in your cat being during this winter, explore your inner world, find your self confidence, for you have great intuition, you have great inner knowing, you have great inner strength. So we tell you, listen less to others, what others say, and listen more inside into yourself. What is your body telling you? What are your emotions telling you? What ideas come forth? What do you dream about? What are your feelings and your senses about things you hear? You are very, very intuitive, and it would serve you so well to deeply engage with this inner intuition and to develop it for yourself. And maybe later on, when you feel ready, you can share with others also your intuitions. So you are a wonderful cat and so much more. So listen less to what others say and take your power and take this time of going inside to explore the wonder that is you, the abilities, the skills, the dreams, the sensations, and listen to yourself more. Make recordings, maybe a journal or drawing or whatever is the medium of your choice, and develop self-confidence, self-trust within you. For there are so many treasures within you that you can discover while you are curled up and comfortable in your cat being. That is all we wish to tell you for right now. Namaste.
Thank you, Satora. All right, practitioners, if I missed anyone, if anyone changed order in line, just go, please get back in line. All right, we've got Wyatt and then Amanda R.
Anissa, so, you know, like, I always call you out every single fair. Anissa, you are amazing and you are loved and we love you. You do amazing work for us and you're amazing. And my cards and spirits very much agree. I drew the cheetah, which is probably the most dog-like big cat. So, why not have both? So, what's really interesting about the cheetah, so the cheetah, surrounded by these beautiful colors of the sun, emanates this beautiful light, and you don't need to try. That's the big thing, is you don't need to try to push yourself out there. You don't need to. You already do by the light that you shine. And it's important for you to remember that and to recall that. And it's very important to know that a cheetah is a cat, has its boundaries, is also very super cuddly, super freaking fast, and very much dog-like, and is okay to have the best of both worlds, excuse me. Just, you know, run fast, continue doing what you're doing, shine your light, and just be you, because you are already doing that.
That's great. Thank you, Wyatt. I love this. All right, let's see. Next in line, we've got Amanda R, and then we have, I think, Amanda M. All right, well, Amanda R is next. Go ahead.
Okay. And just to keep myself consistent, I have no idea what your question was, but here, oh my gosh, my computer is not the right shape for my paper. Can you see it?
Yeah, this is great. I think we can see it. Describe, is it the yellow that you drew, or what is this?
Okay, and it's like you are the little black snowflake in the middle of the red diamond, in the middle of the yellow thing.
Okay.
You see it? That's you. And it looks also, it's like a flower. So it's like a flower with the snowflake inside of it in the red thing. Now on one side you have the cat. I drew like a cat face in the leaves, right? Now that to me, originally I saw as like someone like really kind of being a butthead to you, like someone just being negative and just like a pain, and or it could be like your inner critic. So it could be like something inside of yourself that's like giving yourself a hard time. So, and then I turned it into a cat. So I was like, okay, wait, turning the negativity and the hard things you have to deal with into the positive. Well, cats are really good at that, right? They're good at like, well, I'm not going to actually do what you want, and I'm going to do my own thing. And it's a cat, so you can't blame it because it's just doing just being a cat, right? So that's the cat part. On the other side is the yellow and blue eye. Now, I mean, no, pink and blue eye on the other side of you. And that, so how I see pink and light blue, to me, because of my experiences and with people, I see that as being like the new generation's colors. I feel like pink and light blue are like the kids coming up, like that shows me like their best selves, like in those colors. So that to me says that you're like on the forefront of like the energy of the next generation coming up. It's like you're like a leader in like the next group, and you're very connected to like that kind of thing. Now, this is really cool and curious. So that is a snowflake in as a rune. It's not the snowflake as a rune. It's Hagalaz as a rune in Younger Futhark. And it represents a snowflake, the original seed of ice. It is traditionally like seen as crisis or obstacle, yet it's also the magician and the mystic and the energy of, and every single rune is found in that rune. So it's like literally limitless potential. Like you can do literally anything you want to do because that's you. And red means definitely like it's important for you to stay grounded, but there's so much going around you that like it's kind of hard. So see your little groundedness, see that little tiny string thing? Yeah. So that's like a really, really small grounded string. Probably like, oh, now you look like a kite too, huh? Okay, wait, well, I'm gonna come back to that. Anyway, so snowflake, but snow and then surrounded by yellow and sun, right? So it's like you're an ice crystal, but you're surrounded by yellow energy and like sun energy. So that's like opposites. It's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like stuff that you have no control over changing. And I'm totally getting off track and I don't remember what I was saying anymore. But did that make sense at all, Anissa? You can lie to me. I'm totally good with that. No, I'm
No,
kidding.
no, it makes sense. Yeah, everything everyone's been saying makes a lot of sense. I guess it's more of the I'm afraid the new people I met that I misled them. That I'm going to be more of this person that's going to stay connected with them all the time, and I'm always going to be up for doing something or always going to be up for scheduling something. And I was trying to do that, and now I'm kind of just back to where, hello, all right, I'm still alive, but
no, you're good. Don't like definitely not, because you see, you're still connected to them by a little string. So, you got your finger on it and you don't need to you have a lot of other things going on that can't be like your life. You have to do this. You can't just do them. You're good. That's weird. Okay.
That's great. That's beautiful too. I'm just that much more awed by all of your drawings, your paintings. Yeah, I could talk to you more about that afterwards. All right, we've got Amanda M is going to share, and then Galactic Ashley is in line.
I've just been kind of freaking out over here because while you were initially talking, I saw a vision of just like a cat snuggling up next to a nice wood burning stove on a rug, and that it's cold outside and winter's coming. So from what Satora said, I'm just like, whoa, with myself over here and just kind of adding that together and everything. But yeah, it's cats, you do you when you need to do it. If you feel you need to invoke certain energies that are uncommon to you, do it. If you need to go back to what you're comfortable with, do that. And cats still get fed, they still get loved on, and they're not all like a dog, so and yeah, you do still have those connections, and they will still be there if they're meant to be.
That's great. Thank you so much, Amanda M, for sharing. It's great and how fun. I love the way we get synced up with each other, right? Tapping into similar things, same thing. Great. All right. Galactic Ashley, you want to go?
This is just really quick. So I heard you say something about you misleading people, and the beings are basically just saying, unless you intentionally lead somebody down with intention a dark alley in order to club them in the head, you did not mislead anybody. If anything, you showed them a way of being, but you never necessarily signed up and said, I will do this for you for all space and time. Here is my contract. You just showed one part of yourself, and they don't need to be codependent on you, whoever they are, right? And so that's one way. So you can let that go. And also you can say, look, and I taught you this one way of being, and then maybe they go and they try and find somebody that showed them a positive way to be. And so you just showed them one aspect of that. And then I just want to, I keep hearing people say, because it's a cat, they're just being a cat. So let's remember that the collective cat consciousness came in and they chose to create this way of being. Just like the dogs came in, they chose to be domesticated. They chose to be a dog. They chose to be their dogness, right? So they didn't just happen overnight. This was a collective energetic choice by these beings that incarnated in this way. And so you also get to choose to be and define what your Anissa-ness is. Like, this is your choice to be who you are, so that we're all like, oh, that's just Anissa. That's okay. She's just being Anissa, right? So, like, you're a co-creator of your Anissa-ness, just like cats. We're like, oh, that's a cat. Like, it's fine. They're not going to come. The cat's like, that's right, I'm not going to come. And you believe I'm not going to come. So that's on you, right? So, and dogs, they come and we expect them to come when we call them. And so it's like they created that. And then this is our response. They project that. So you just project your Anissa-ness, and then we just go, oh, that's Anissa. And all of us that know you the way that we do, we all love you and we appreciate you. And so, and you are here and we're here and it's nice. And we enjoy Anissa-ness.
Thank you so very much, everybody. That was really, really great. So my nickname is Nis. So often people joke about like sadness. Oh, you're being a sadness today, or it's a happiness day. So all this and like a Nissa-ness, I don't know. It just makes me giggle inside. But thank you all so very much. You didn't need to say all those lovely things, but it was great to hear. So I'm gonna try to take it in.
Oh,
thank you.
Great. And I'm going to overload you. I want to share a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
You're so deserving of all these lovely things that people are saying, and you're deserving of so much more of these lovely things. So thrilled to work with you and support you.
Likewise.
Support us. Yeah. So let's see. So about a cat. So I love the cat that Wyatt drew. There's a cat that lives next door to me at my girlfriend's house that is the dog cat. I mean, it's more of a dog than a cat. So there's a whole range here. And your talents in your eyes, right? There's artisan and priest, priestess. So artisan is about freedom. Artisans get to do whatever they want. They can be chameleons, shift and change, right? So they facilitate change for others. So freedom, right? To go wherever you want to go. Artisan is more introverted. So in that sense, it could be a little more cat-like. The priest, priestess is your second talent. It's a little bit more extroverted, but it's selectively extroverted. So it's selectively more like a dog, and it's really not like a dog. The sage talent is really the one that's more like a dog. So the priest, priestess goes out in the world for something that they care about. There's a big difference that they want to make, a big impact. And I think that a bunch of the ways that you were social this summer, they were about making a big impact. So you were outgoing in a way that really was true for you. Right. And some of the wave of that, right, naturally, right, we're at a different part of the wave of all that at the moment. And it's also getting cold, right? So people get more internal. Yeah, and I love that someone, whichever one of us said codependent, right? So if someone needed you to show up for them, right, they're dependent on you in a way that doesn't really, it's not honoring of you, right? It's something that's going on for them, right? That's not something for you. And priest, priestess second, people that have this talent second have a harder time putting their own needs first, right? So really honoring and taking care of themselves. They have a tendency to have really high expectations of themselves. So I love that you're finding your way to have balanced expectations of yourself. Really, maybe not expectations at all, but being open to showing up with how you show up, just like I experience you being with everyone else. You're open to flowing with how everyone shows up, right? Honoring you. And we've mentioned in the chat so many times about how cats are so great at boundaries. I love how cats just go, but even they can just go, you know, they look at you and they let you know, right? So you're incredibly gentle. And for you really to take in that part of you that's like a cat, right? To be more and more clear about your nose. I think that's the part of the cat energy that you're still embracing. That's great. So thanks so much for a lovely question. I love that your black cat went wandering by as you were hearing answers, and so beautiful. All right, great. Yeah, someone's dog is more cat than dog. Yeah, totally. I know dogs that are more cats than dogs too. So lovely question. Practitioners, anything else you want to share with Anissa? She went off screen for a moment, but we know she's here and she can touch that recording.
We love you. You're amazing.
So much.
Yes, we love you.
Yay. All right, we've probably got time to answer one more question if someone else has a question. We currently don't have anyone else in line. And you got a sense of this, you'll have so many of us answer your question. It's really up to you to do what you want to do. And if we don't have another question, I'm sure we'll find something else lovely to chat about. And I'll put the information in the chat again about asking a question. And thank you so much. Sharon is doing the interpreting tonight for someone who's with us, and we're recording this, and I'm ensuring that Sharon, I had a little teeny glitch or moment when she wasn't, but I'm having her show in all the recording, I believe. So hopefully anyone else that wants to come watch this later, they'll be able to see Sharon and understand what's going on. All right. Let's see. Oh, there was some advice. Oh, yeah. Great. Amazing Egyptian cat goddesses. Anissa is definitely a goddess. Let's see. I'm seeing if anyone else has a question they want to ask, and maybe no one does. It's all right. Let's see. So practitioners. So one thing we can always do with each other too is one of us may have a question that we want to ask. So we can ask questions of each other. Oh yeah, Satora is going to be leaving. Let me put Satora's information in the chat. Satora, thank you so much for coming tonight. It was lovely hearing from you, lovely having you participate with us. So Satora is available to do sessions as well, if anyone else wants to connect with her. Satora, feel free if you want to jump online and say anything before you go. You are still here.
Well, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you all so much. I have to get up real early tomorrow, so I'm just gonna leave. But have a wonderful time and enjoy the Halloween energies. And it's a great opportunity to create and think about what you want, what you really want. Thank you. Big hug. Bye.
Thank you, Satora. All right, great. Yeah, so practitioners, unless someone jumps in, and currently no one has jumped in. If any of us want to ask a question of each other, we can do that.
There's a question in the chat about Samhain and how to connect to the spirits.
Okay, great. I've not seen that. Oh, yes, I see. Great. Cool. Yeah. Practitioners, go ahead.
I want to talk about that first.
We can totally talk about that, yeah. So do we have any advice on how to connect with the spirits on Samhain or November 1? Oh, go ahead, Wyatt. Yeah, jump in.
Okay, cool. So I work a lot with the dead, or I call them the transitioned, because they are not exactly dead. They're just in a new way of living and a new way of life. So a wonderful way. So Samhain is the where the veil is thinnest, and I say veil loosely because it's not really a veil. It is the easiest time to be able to connect, and me being a shamanism practitioner, the easiest way for me to connect is through trance or listening to drums or so on and so forth. But with that being said, the dead and the spirits and the loved ones are always around. So it's just about honoring them. So whether you make a cute little altar for your loved ones where you have a candle and the pictures, and maybe you bring out some fruit or bread, kind of like Dia los Muertos. I'm totally saying that wrong. But the Day of the Dead, they make these huge, grand, beautiful tables with the sugar skulls and different foods and fruits, and they have the pictures of their loved ones there. Dia de los Muertos. Thank you, Galactic, Ashley. So yeah, just doing that and honoring them, for they are there, and it's easy to just talk to them. But even then, like when you talk on a spiritual frequency, kind of like praying, you are talking and connecting to them directly. So it's just important to know that they're always around, and you always have connection with them, even if they don't show up, especially if they just passed on, because sometimes they want nothing to do with this physical world. So yeah.
All right, great. Thank you. It looks like we've got Susy in line and then the Shift Witch.
So like I said earlier, I'm kind of a sloppy witch. So I would love to take the time to make the shrines and stuff like that. But the way I do it, I just talk to them. There are times I can hear my maternal grandmother's very distinctive giggle. She's like, that's not a giggle, that's a laugh. It's like, yes, ma'am. Okay. So, and I talked to them. I was actually able, after my father passed, I was actually able to have those arguments with him that I didn't have when he was in body, because he had dementia, so he didn't know who I was. And so I was finally able to talk to him, and we sorted stuff out. I ask for help. That's one of my beliefs when I work with clients or with guides, is that I work with consent. So my guides work with me through consent. I ask them for help, so they come in. They're not going to just, come swooping in and fix it all up. They'll wait to have the help asked for. And that's primarily how I can do it. I watched one thing that said, well, if you ever want to talk to dead people, just say yes. Say you're open for business, and they will come storming in and they will talk to you. I agree though with Wyatt, is like some of them don't want to have anything to do with it because they're making a transition and just trying to figure out what just happened. Because some of them have left without knowing, some have left willingly. I don't know. I think some spirits, some transitioned. I love that word. Some transitioned folks have still have ego to deal with. So they may come in thinking they know everything. You're like, no, you're still dead though. But have a conversation, open up and just talk to them. If you wanted to have a dumb supper, we've done that, where we've set a place for the ancestors who have left, and then we didn't say anything. And that's a tradition that happens, but just talk to them. It's okay. And you can set boundaries with them too. I love that. So there we go.
Great. All right. Let's see. The Shift Witch, and someone also did mention Dia de Muertos. I'm not pronouncing it right. Day of the Dead. Yeah.
Dia de los Muertos.
Sí.
So yeah, I have an altar, and I put my animal friends and my human family. Their pictures are at that altar. And I also just put favorite objects that remind me of them. And just try to make it, just a very beautiful memorial type of place, not in a sad way, just in a really joyful way. Harken back to tonight's word, joy. And where I connect deepest is in dream work. So that is where my mind relaxes enough to incorporate the visual aspect. Hearing them is always a thing, but I like seeing them a lot more and hugging them and things like that. So that's what you get to do in the dream work, is actually have those deeper interactions in full color, stereo, and all of that. And that is also just a matter of being very open to it and trusting that it is really happening. Even though you're in a dream state, it is still really happening. And followed by, when you wake up from that, give yourself the time to truly enjoy that. Think about what just happened, allow that joy to rise up, allow yourself to feel happy for that interaction, and express the gratitude and thankfulness for those interactions, because they're guiding you every single day. We celebrate them more fully at Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, but they're always here. They're just a little easier to connect in the shadow season because it's the shadow season. So yeah, that's my take on it.
All right, great. And Galactic Ashley wants to share something. And then again, pronunciation for me. Thorn also mentioned, is it Hecate? Yeah, someone else wants to speak to that too, but wonderful for working with the ancestors.
Hecate.
Okay, great.
There's a lot of really great information about the dead that's out there. So I just want to touch on a couple of things. So before I get into Dia de los Muertos, there's a part of me that's like, I don't really spend that much time connecting with dead people. But then I just got a whole bunch of reminders like lies, and I was like, okay, lies. So I was being reminded, like, what did you do when you were little? And I was like, oh, right. So my grandfather is, he was a well-known pearl diver in the Fakarava Islands outside of Tahiti. And I never knew him because he died when my mom was 21. However, I feel like I know him better than everyone else in the family. But because he was a pearl diver and I'd heard some of these stories, I basically would go underwater, even in the bathtub, and essentially I practice. So I find this interesting now that I'm a channel. I would practice lowering my heart rate and getting really calm in water so that I could actually hold my breath a long time because I felt very connected to him underwater. So I would do all kinds of other weird things, like in a pool, like take a bucket of water under there so I can try and go and breathe underwater. You know, all the things that like give parents a heart attack. And in the ocean too. So basically, whoever you're trying to connect to, I would suggest do the thing that they did, right? I also believe that we are all able to connect. I'm maybe a snot about this because I also believe it's passed down in DNA, and I completely have the DNA that connects to all this stuff. And when I did a bunch of work out in Tahiti for a summer on the outer islands, I basically went to the place where he used to dive, and then he also did copra farming. And so I went to all these places, and it was just very clear that there was like 10 tons of deceased people that were just like, well, like I felt like I was like never alone, like, but there was nobody around. But I mean, like, there was a lot of spirits like everywhere. So I was like, okay. I also spent a lot of time hanging out at cemeteries, but I only liked going to Mexican cemeteries. And I, by myself, will go get tacos and like go eat and hang out with people because they always take care of their cemeteries. And I'm from California, so I was always kind of obsessed with Latin American culture. My stepfather's also Mexican. But this brings me to Dia de los Muertos, which I used to live in Tucson. Tucson has one of the biggest Day of the Dead ceremonies in the whole entire country. It is like huge and amazing. It used to be like a month-long celebration. Now it's like only a week, but mostly it has nothing to do with Halloween. And I also lived in Paraguay and went to other ceremony. Like, you basically take your lunch and you go spend the day celebrating the life of your ancestors and your family, like at the cemetery. So it's whatever you are drawn to. The way that you are drawn to connect is the way that is for you. And to go experiment and experience those different types of connections. I love that the Shift Witch talked about dreams. You could set the intention that you want to connect with somebody, write it down next to your bed, and set that intention. So you can connect with them and receive messages from them while you're sleeping because we're more open, we're not as resistant. And technically, I actually believe that we die every night and we're reborn again every day. So you die too, and you can go connect with them, and then you just wake up and they stay hanging out wherever they are. So I guess that is that. I also believe that the veil is quote unquote thinner now because I'm a big believer in collective consciousness, and because everybody believes it is, it is. Now imagine if everybody believed that every day, then the veil would be thin every day. But also there's been like 300,000 years or whatever of people practicing this and running these rituals through their bodies at this time. So running rituals through your physical body basically is anchoring in these energies into this time. But I still just want to propose to the universal world, like, if we just did these celebrations, not just during specific times of year, then we would just be connected all the time, and we would be embracing these rituals through our physical body, anchoring them into the earth. These are all part of the whole let's embrace our multidimensionality, bring these rituals into our physical body beyond November and October. That's all.
So great, so great, so great. Oh my. Oh. I've totally lost track of the initial question too. This is great. But yeah, I've spent tons of time in cemeteries also. I didn't think about this, but well, let's see. So there is another question that came in that's a little bit related. Let me go find where it is. So I think Andrea was saying she's channeled her entire life. For some reason, there seem to be more active events recently. Not sure if it's just her, if others are experiencing this. And then also she was asking, it sounded like she was wondering if we were connecting with dead relatives and friends way more than usual, or that maybe people that had recently passed, somehow something like that was more active. So just if any of you that, I don't know, maybe I do too, but if any of us do that, if we have anything we want to share about that. Her messages are all mixed up in the chat. They're hard to find, so I was pulling them together. Yeah, does it feel any different to anyone about, yeah, anyone being more active now? Or if people are more recent, you know, those that are more active, the souls that are more active, have they more recently passed or way in the distant past? Yeah. Same as always or changed?
So I will talk, sorry.
Great.
Totally forgot to raise my hand. But anyway, I have noticed, especially during these months, these past months, that death has been a very real, very reoccurring message for all of us. And it's not really to be afraid of it. It is more bringing us into the aspect and realization that death is not the end, but it is a transition. Now, that being said, because this death mindset has been running around rampant in the human collective, excuse me, it's bringing about more, we're noticing them more. In the shamanic traditions, we cross over. So being a shaman, you have a foot in both worlds. You have a foot in the physical world and a foot in the spiritual world at all times. This means that I could be walking down the street and all of a sudden there is a spirit that needs crossing over. Being a shaman, you do not only heal the living, but you help heal the dead. So there are certain deaths that, like a suicide, is a death where they do not feel they are worthy of crossing over into the light, into the love. A traumatic death like that of a car crash or a very sudden fire or something, they may not know they're dead, and so you may have to break that to them. With everything going on, a lot of very like generational deaths and deaths that have happened a long time ago are maybe coming to the surface, where a lot of these psychopomps, myself and some others that can cross people over, are going to have to work overtime. And I say overtime because I get a lot of joy from it, helping people heal. This is what I'm getting hit on, is that this is what's coming up, is because death that is running very rampant is, you know, bringing everything to light yet again. And I think that's what's going on, is you're getting a hit and you're starting to feel everything that's going on. You're starting to tune into the death and you're starting to, I don't know, I'm getting hit, maybe learn how to cross people over.
Great, thank you so much. It looks like Amanda R. has something else to share about this too. Go ahead, Amanda.
Only because as Wyatt was speaking, I realized I had the picture for that. Here we go. There's that. It looks so now, and I'm literally like didn't want to raise my hand because I'm kind of out of words right now, but I'm gonna try. This is the mystic rune, the crisis mystic magician, where all the runes are involved in it. The snowflake, the primal seed snowflake, like the original ice crystal that started at the very beginning of time, right? So, and if we think about the whole like God is everywhere and yet God isn't everybody as an analogy, that crystal seed lies within us somewhere at the very center of us, that place where there is stillness, right? Around that, we see all the crap that's going on, like with, it's like looks like bloodshed, but that's, I mean, it's a metaphor, but it looks like bloodshed. And so after the battle, it's like you take in everything that happened in the battle and you like process it all, and then you can see more than you used to see because now you've been through more. And then so you expand outward, and then after that though, you go back inward and you find that little seed of ice in the center of yourself, and you can like see everything in a different way. So it just affects the way you see everything. That, I don't know if that made any sense, but that's the picture to go with what Wyatt said. Thank you, Wyatt.
Thank you, Amanda. That's a great drawing.
Great. I appreciate the way this comes through all of us. Lovely. All right. Practitioners, anything else to share about what we've been chatting about? So I want to mention too, I just put a couple things in the chat. So one is if you'd like to tip or share anything, donation that will go to the interpreters, please do that. Totally optional, and we'd love to have your support. We hope to have interpreters at more events as well. And then also, if you're willing to share your feedback with us about the event tonight, there's a link in the chat. If you share your feedback and give us your contact info, we'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. And you'll also get to go on the email list for all of us. You get to hear about all the other things that we're doing. And let's see, what did Andrea said? I'm sure picking up increased death and grief. I'm for sure picking up increased death and grief. Generally, I reach out to those past. Yeah, so maybe you've got a role. Kind of like Wyatt's got something there about a role that you have to play with that. Yeah. I know my mom died of suicide, and my partner's late husband died of an accident too. So I was particularly interested in what you were sharing, Wyatt. Yeah. Totally true about my mom, about not knowing that she was worthy to be in the light. Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, yeah, practitioners, if there's anything else that you want to chat about, you feel inspired by any of this conversation, or just something else you want to share about the theme or this time of year, any of that, feel free. And practitioners, yeah, if one of you wants to ask a question of all of us, we can do that too. Yeah. I guess, Sharon, hope you're doing okay. Thanks so much. You're the only one that's here doing this tonight, and thank you so much.
No problem.
Let's see. Yeah. Just practitioners, is there anything that any of you want to ask? I'm trying to keep sharing on the screen, so I'm not moving. I'm not moving up and down. I can't see you all. Here, I'll put it on the gallery view, so we're all here. Yeah. I'm going to say it out loud here. So Amanda R., your drawings are amazing. Your drawings are like individual pieces of art when you're done. I don't know what you do with them, but there's definitely stuff to do with them. And I see Galactic Ashley speaking too. Galactic Ashley, I know it's more in the zone of the things that you do, if there's something you want to say. But Amanda R., there's definitely something to do with your artwork.
Thank you. I don't know what that means exactly, but I appreciate the.
Well, like I want the framed piece when you're done kind of thing. Like it's beautiful and there's meaning in it, and people looking at it later, there's all sorts of meaning they'll draw through it. There's so much energy and meaning that comes through what you do, and the way that you're pulling them all together and they turn into a composition. I mean, together, like it's amazing. I just know that there's a lot more there.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I never would think that, but okay, thank you.
So there's something I want to talk about art too. So there's a good saying that my teachers have said, that shamanic art is power. So you have power in your art. And so by drawing in these spiritual senses, in these spiritual times, you are bringing that power, you're bringing those teachings into physicality. You are essentially becoming a Veerd, where you are bringing in these beautiful concepts of infinity and you're putting them into pieces of paper and bringing that power into this physical world to establish new vibration. So it's awesome. I love it. And I think you should sell it because it's great. Everyone can like benefit from it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, and Amanda, it's amazingly how quick you do these, and like it's so not about it being perfect. Like I imagine you having some judgment about perfection about different things. Like they are so beautiful the way they are, just so quickly the way.
So
Like
interestingly, I don't actually judge them, but I also don't think it's art. So
it is. It is. It's energy and it's art.
That is
I mean,
100% art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Here's
is art.
Can you see this is the one for the day.
Hold on, let me see about pinning you so we can, or like spotlight. Here we go.
Okay, that's today. That was just from this thing tonight.
We saw when it was blank and you first had just the purple and the red and then the
yeah.
Yeah. This is amazing.
Oh,
yeah. And Laureli, I think, might be doing something with us, but I also have to meet with Amanda because we're going to do a session where we're going to be doing drawing and readings. But I haven't talked to Amanda about it. But I think Laureli is going to put a panel together like this for people that are going to be doing drawings and readings. So from what I have been taught or guided, it is the same as when we are channeling, like with our voices. The beings are only asking for a frequency so that they can wrap their energy around our sound so that they can do transmissions, right? But when you think of sound, when you think of color as sound frozen, what you're basically doing is similar to, it's not the same because I agree with exactly what Wyatt said with the shamanic terms, but I work a lot with light language, right? So it's similar in that you are creating frequencies that are they're stabilized. So they become stabilized on the paper and you're bringing them into a physicality. So that way it can broadcast energies out into the person's energy field that aligns with them. So people might come to you who are interested in the runes and the shamanic stuff, and people might come to me that are more interested in the galactic stuff, but it's the same. Essentially, we're doing very similar things. And so I think what you're doing is awesome. And I think the more you're comfortable with it, you'll find the words that go with it, but you don't even need the words because you're delivering a transmission through paper. And it's fine that you don't think that it's art. I do the same thing, but mostly because I'm technically trained to be an artist and because my thesis committee would probably push all of that away. But and I get very self-critical with my stuff too. So it's good that you can just sort of crank out the work and do it, and it's awesome. And I'm glad that you got a drawing cam because I think people like to watch the process. So
thanks.
Yeah, I don't think you've had it on your, well, I haven't looked at it much, I guess, during the event to watch you do it, but I now really want to watch you do it. So yeah, it's amazing.
No pressure. No, I'm joking. I actually won't even, if people are watching me, I wouldn't even know because I'm like in the zone.
Exactly. The Shift Witch asked, what medium are you using? It looked like watercolor type something, but I don't know, what is it?
So I always use watercolor pencils. I use Super Color by Karan Dash. I love them. And I'm using
Cadillac.
metallic watercolors.
So I'm gonna spot.
So which ones are those?
Oh, you're
are those the
I don't know.
I know the name of those.
I
recognize the pattern, but I can't think of the name. Yeah, that's the good stuff you're using. And Andrea had Galactic Ashley's painting up a second ago. She was holding it up.
See where everybody is. Oh, yeah. Now let's spotlight you. Okay, stay there. Galactic Ashley. Okay, great. So Galactic Ashley, can you say something about this?
Sure. I don't remember what the question was that Andre asked at the time, but basically when I do these pieces, people ask me questions, and so I channel the information on the front in the form of like that and the images, and then I put English on the back so that people have something to anchor it to. Sometimes people ask about their star families or just a question, and then that way they can put this up and they can use it to charge water with, or to put it next to their bed to sleep with, or next to, or to put it just wherever they feel the need to experience the energy. And the beings I will just channel their their galactic beings to come in to bring in the colors and the shapes, because it's the quality and texture, and it's just about whatever the person needs for healing.
Yeah, so Amanda, I have like all these amazing feelings looking at your work as you do it and after you do it. And so, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we've just been renaming what Amanda does, and that's part of why I got art in there.
Yeah, I mean, the struggle has been real trying to define what the heck I do. So I appreciate that.
Great. All right, we've got just a few minutes left. Practitioners, if there's anything you want to share, and I want us to all go around and share who we are and what we do in our contact info again, just before we close tonight. I'm going to put the information again in the chat about the tip jar for our interpreter, Sharon, and then also if you want to fill out the feedback form and get in the drawing for the free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. That's all in there. And thank you so much, Donna, for jumping in and helping answer that question earlier too. I'll put Donna's information in the chat again also. Got it down here. And I'll put all the practitioners' info in here again too. Yeah, thank you so much for participating, everyone. We all create this together. We hold this together. That's how this comes to be, right? Your questions and holding space for this is all part of how it comes to be. Yeah, maybe practitioners, let's go through. And so I'll have all of you share again, maybe just before you start, since Satora's not with us anymore, I want to share Satora Oswald was here earlier. She does energy healing, intuitive guidance with Ascended Masters and Angels. You didn't hear her talk about this tonight. She also uses the Terra approach to trauma resolution with different kind of points around the body, so you can learn to heal yourself. She's at freesatora@gmail.com. Yeah, so practitioners, if you want to, so go ahead, practitioners, don't jump in and just share for a minute or so who you are, what you do, and where people can get in touch with you on the web. So it's all here in the recording.
I'll go. So hi, I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. I still have a couple of spots left and a 10% coupon code available for people tonight. And it is my galactic guided intensive called Sovereignty and the Sacred Art of Channeling. And there's still a few spaces left, and you can find me at galacticashley.com. And since we're talking about creativity, my next galactic guided intensive is actually for artists and creatives, and it starts on January 11th of next year. So woohoo! So come get your galactic groove on and come see us at Lorelai's next event.
Yeah, I'll put our next upcoming events here in the chat too. We've got a fair coming up this Sunday, November 1. We go from 4 to 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we've got more fairs in. I'm scheduling about 20 panels right now, so there's a lot coming. All right, practitioners, who else wants to share? And I'll put your info in the chat as you're sharing.
I'll go next. So I'm Wyatt. I am a shamanism practitioner and spiritual life coach. I combine both of the ancient methods of shamanism and the current modern kind of techniques of life coaching to be able to help you move forward or begin your path of healing. I do work with a lot of nature spirits and the wind, and I do a lot of crossing over, doing some extractions and soul retrievals and so on and so forth. Lots of stuff. I love it. Tonight I am offering a 10% off shamanic healing sessions and packages, which includes a integration session or up to 4 sessions. So those packages are on my website, thewildwoodhollow.com. All you have to do is just send me a quick email and I will talk to you about it, get you that 10% discount. I do want to say thank you all for coming. I did see you guys put in the chat. Thank you, and all the advice that we've given you. We love you, and we're here to support you. So thanks for coming.
Thanks so much.
Can I interrupt really quick? I'm Sorry. Wyatt and I have a Crystal Skull event on Sunday, November 1st, which is right before the fair. So you could come hang out with us for free, and then we can all go to the free MeWe fair right after together. Okay.
Yes, that's great. That's great. All right, sweet. Who else wants to share? Practitioners.
I'll
Oh, yeah.
go.
Go ahead. Shift.
Hi, I am the Shift Witch, and I help you create shifts so radical they must be magical. And my goal is so that you love yourself as you are right now in this body, in this space, in this time. And I do that through belly dancing. It's a lot of fun. I love it so much. Yoga, meditation, life coaching. I actually have a program that's starting on Samhain because it's a full moon. I'm a little bit moon obsessed. It's called Loving Yourself by the Moon. We'll meet twice a month on the new and full moons and just really be there for each other in a really beautiful sacred container where we can talk about how you can love yourself right now without conditions or time limits or any limits at all. So if you'd like to join me for that, I am offering a 10% discount at the fair. My info is at theshiftwitch.com. I am also on Facebook at The Shift Witch, so you can find me in any of those places. Please contact me. I would love to hear from you. I would love to talk to you about how to become your greatest love.
That's great. Thank you. All right. Who else wants to share?
I'll go ahead. My name is Susy Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing. I am a channel, so I bring divine through to talk to you. So you have a conversation with them, ask questions, get to connect with your guide so that you can work with them on your own. I'm also, I love doing past life exploration and healing. I'm an energy healer also. I have meditations. I have a podcast that broadcasts Thursdays and Mondays. It's called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. You can find it on Amazon Music and Google and Apple and Spotify. Anchor.fm has got links for all of them. You can also contact me through my website at bluelightninghealing.com, or my direct email is susypgoins@gmail.com. And thanks so much, everybody, for coming. I love this group of people. That y'all make me happy. So talk to you later.
Great. Thank you so much, Susie. All right. Who else wants to share?
I can go. Okay, so I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to show the picture and say, look, it's 1,000 words. But then I remembered something Wyatt said when he said, the shamans are never off the clock, right? Like you kind of just, me too. And that's why I have such a hard time with answering the question, what do you do? Well, I don't know. What am I doing right now? Because I'm literally I always do this. Like, this is like how I live my life. And this is who I've always been. So when I'm trying to like talk about a little piece of it out of context, doesn't seem to make any sense. In context, I don't know, it makes sense. So anyway, that just resonated with me. And so it's 1,000 plus a couple words. And that's, I'm at snowmoontarot.com. I'm always at the fairs. I never can explain myself like a normal person in these kinds of scenarios, but I feel like in a reading situation, it actually makes sense. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Amanda. All right. And we have another Amanda that's going to share next.
Well, I am Amanda, and I do Reiki and chakra readings primarily. Also a little bit of shamanistic journey work. Nothing like Wyatt, though. It was so awesome listening to you talk this evening, though, Wyatt. And I also do guided meditations, and I have a Kambo practice that I am holding ceremony over the Halloween weekend. If anyone is in Texas and interested, you can find me at Sacred Chakras on Facebook, or my email will be linked. It's michalski.amanda@gmail.com. And I am also offering buy one, get one half off on remote Reiki and intuitive readings.
Great.
And thank you so much for coming.
Great, thank you. And let's see, and I know my name. Let me get what I want to copy and put it in the chat. All right. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. And my rates have been lowered for the pandemic. My readings, if you come here to one of the events, it's just $1 a minute, essentially. And I'm going to be raising my rates to $1.50 a minute on November 15th. So if you'd like to do an eye reading with me, now is the time. It is $60 an hour, yes, or 50% off if you want to do a reading with me right now. So yeah, you can sign up on schedulelorelei.com and yeah, just write me and I will get you a link to sign up if you want to do that. All right, great. And then you've been here tonight for a MeWe Awakening panel. You can find us online at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. And we have upcoming events. So this is a panel where we have a number of practitioners on the panel and we answer questions from the audience together in this big room. We also have fairs where we have usually around 15 practitioners. We spend about an hour together in the main room and we do answer a few questions from the audience as a sample for you. And then we have 3 hours where the practitioners are all in different breakout rooms. We're all giving different talks and we're all available to do sessions, many of us at the fair, and we have specials that we offer at those events too. So the next one is next Sunday, November 1 from 4 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And then we have another one on Saturday, November 14. And we have a middle of the night fair that is Australia time on Thursday, November 19. So that's the middle of the night for everyone else. And we have another fair coming up in December and we're getting December 4 and we're getting ready to schedule more too. Many of us will be there on the Sunday, November 1. That's next weekend. We'd love to be with you. And you want to go to Galactic, Ashley, and Wyatt's Crystal Skull event. That's right before then as well. And I'm going to put in the chat once again, if you'd like to leave a tip for the interpreter, that would be very much appreciated. And if you haven't already, if you could give us some feedback with that feedback form, that would be great. All right, and Gio's been here tonight too, and Gio is making sure that everyone that wins gets to know really quickly and that all the practitioners get everything that they get from the people that fill out the feedback forms. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this all together. I think I shared all the bits. Thank you so much, Sharon, for your interpretation, and thank you so much. I'm just letting you be anonymous if you want to, the person that requested that Sharon be here. Thank you very, very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon, for all the work you did tonight. Oh my gosh, you are incredible. This is a long event. So you are a rock star.
And we sure talk a lot.
We do. We talk a lot and we talk about weird words. At least Sharon is a practitioner, but weird words. And let's see. So Galactic Ashley, there's a question about where the Crystal Skull event is going to be.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's on Sunday online and I need to post it.
I'm going to put Galactic Ashley's information right here in the chat so you can reach out to Galactic Ashley and find out if it doesn't arrive in just the next few minutes.
I want to know how Sharon signs when we're all talking over the top of each other. And I also, oh, sorry, I'll wait. I also wanted to say thanks to Sharon because you were in my breakout room and I was already super attracted to your energy. And now that you're signing, all I want to do is like channel, but like watch what you're signing. And it's really amazing. And I just think you're the perfect person to do this. So that's all. Thank you.
Yes, Sharon, if you want to sign while you put your voice in the space too, and let us know, what has it been like doing this for you tonight?
It's really been interesting experience, you know, trying to keep up and, you know, a lot of not new words, but new for sign language. So I still have, you know, a lot of learning to do, but it's really awesome because, you know, I'm interested in this stuff in the first place. And so, you know, it makes me happy that, you know, more people can benefit and, you know, later on, you know, we'll maybe have more deaf people who can benefit from these spiritual topics because I'm not sure if it's really a common thing, but I know that access has always been an issue. And so I'm really grateful that, you know, you are allowing like a safe place for this to start. So Yeah. It's a learning experience for me also. So.
Great. Thank you so very much. All right, let's see. So we're going to be closing up tonight, and then practitioners stay for a few minutes. And Sharon, if you want to stay for a few minutes, and then we have a couple other practitioners that are part of our community already that are here. If you want to stay, feel free to stay also. We'll chat about the event a little bit. And everyone else, we look forward to seeing you soon. And if you're a practitioner and you want to participate in our events on MeWeFairs.com, if you go over to the 4 vendors tab, there's get a booth. So get a booth, fill out the form, and you can join us in one of our events. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, and we're going to start. I'm going to start letting people out into the waiting room if you're still here. So practitioners, just hang out with us.